Do you know this man crying and singing the North Korean national anthem? North Korean football is famous for forced labor in coal mines if the team loses, yellow cards for stealing water. But this video of a North Korean crying while singing the national anthem has become equally famous as a representative image of North Korean football. There has been much debate on the internet as to whether his tears were caused by brainwashing by North Korea or fear of the dictatorship. So today I would like to talk about the reason for these tears and the life of this man. His name is Chong Te Se. He was born and raised in Japan, but was born as a third-generation Zainichi Korean with a father of Republic of Korea nationality and a mother of Korean nationality. His mother is a former music teacher at an elementary Korean school in Japan. He started playing football when he was a fourth grader at Aichi Korean Second Elementary School, while enrolled in the athletic department of Chosun University and playing in the lower division of the Tokyo Metropolitan University Football League. While a member of the football team, he was introduced by Nobuaki Tanabe, who had signed him as a football agent to several J-League teams as a trainee with the aim of becoming a professional player. In 2006, he joined Kawasaki Frontale, and in 2007, he became a fixture in the starting lineup. At the same time, he wanted to represent North Korea, his spiritual homeland, in national team games, and with the support of the Korean Football Association in Japan, he succeeded in having his North Korean passport issued while he was a Korean citizen, and FIFA approved his participation in games for North Korea. And he had two dreams as a national player. The first was to represent North Korea in the World Cup for the first time in 44 years. And the second was to prove his ability to the world and rise in the ranks. To make these dreams come true, he trained with the North Korean national team for the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Since the training was held on an unmaintained field, the team gave up on passing soccer and built the team with the tactic of sending passes to Chong Te Se anyway, and to meet the expectations of his North Korean teammates who believed in him and sent him passes, who had suddenly appeared from Japan just recently. Chong Te Se also continued to shoot desperately under great pressure. At first, the team could not even build up in the World Cup Asian qualifiers. But as they continued to fight in the Asian qualifiers, they somehow grew to a level where they could build up. And after a draw against Saudi Arabia at the end, North Korea moved up to second place in their group and qualified for the World Cup for the first time in 44 years. Chong Te Se said of this first miracle in 44 years, "People around the world will never understand the joy of this first World Cup appearance in 44 years. But for me, I was so happy that I cried once every 5 minutes." He added, "The day before we played Brazil in the qualifying tournament for the World Cup in South Africa, the sight of my white breath floating in the floodlight was like being in a dream. The next day, the Brazilian national team was warming up beside me in my dreamy state. As I felt that the World Cup was finally starting, I was moved by the situation of hearing the Brazilian national anthem on the pitch, which football fans have heard many times. And when the North Korean national anthem played next, I couldn't stop the tears I had been holding back," he said. Although he lost to Brazil by a single goal and was eliminated from the group stage, the World Cup helped him understand his strengths as well as his weaknesses, and he moved to Bochum, a second division Bundesliga team, and then 2 years later to Cologne, a first division Bundesliga team. However, he lost confidence by comparing himself to other Japanese players of the same generation who were moving up the ladder. And due to a series of painful events in his personal life, including the breakup of his engagement, he lost his motivation and joined a Korean team that treated him like a star. Regarding this step-down move, Chong says, "I couldn't stand the loneliness in Germany anymore. It was because of my mental weakness." He then contributed goals and assists for various teams before retiring from football in 2022. Looking back on those days, Chong Te Se, a player for more than 15 years and now a father, said, "I had no confidence in myself anyway. I thought I was worthless except for scoring goals. As for the North Korean national team, he said, I chose the North Korean national team as a natural progression, but in hindsight, I wanted the national team title, so I may have chosen the North Korean team, which was weaker and easier to become than the South Korean and Japanese national teams. I also had a yearning to be a Japanese national team player. And now, his honest talk and his background as a member of the North Korean national team have made him popular among the Japanese. And even though he lives in South Korea, he comes to Japan every weekend to commentate on the Premier League and bring the joy of football to the Japanese people. As a football fan, I also listen to his commentary every week, and I like his commentary very much because he is full of originality and very informative. So today, I talked about Mr. Chong Te Se, a superhero of Japan, Korea, and North Korea, who is egoistic and negative, but at the same time has a very kind heart. This channel provides very interesting information about Japan, and this channel may change your life. So please subscribe to this channel. Goodbye.